Hey everyone, I'm early. I can't stand to see names in here waiting for someone like myself. It's just so rude. Sit and see everybody waiting. How are you, everyone? Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. I was researching what else the Adelsons, as if I'm gonna have to break myself free. I'm gonna have to go cold turkey on the Adelsons rental properties. I am. Hi, Georgia. Hey, Bling. Hey, Mia. Is anyone going to the meet and greet tonight? Is anyone here? Villanelle's Boots. Love that name. That's such a great name because it was such a great show. Thank you. This is my Dillard's clearance outfit. Dillard's had a sale before I went to Pennsylvania, so I cleaned up. Earrings too. They're pink. I broke a nail though, so don't judge me if you see me tonight. Broke a nail. You're not coming down, Georgia. I understand. I'm sorry. I won't be able to see you. Hey, Bilbo's hairy toes. You know, we had a dog named Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins. My first ex-husband got him in the divorce. He was a great dog. I think he was a Rhodesian Ridgeback. He was a mix. We got him at the pound. Well, Susan, are you coming? Oh, excellent. Yeah, I thought about it. I thought about not going because I'm anti in-person social. Really bad. I was gonna put some Prosecco in the refrigerator. I have some bottles of Prosecco over here, but then it got moved to across town. And so it's on Thomasville Road, and I don't want to drink a glass of Prosecco before I drive across town. You know, all of your special pigs have Hobbit and Lord of the Rings names. I didn't, but I do now. I can't remember names. I just cannot remember. I can remember birthdays. I can remember license numbers, like your license tag. I can still remember license tag of cars I sold 35 years ago, but names just beseech me. I don't even know if that's right. Prosecco is God's drink. That's a lot. That's funny. Villanelle's Boot says, Patty, I laughed out loud while watching your hair video. And you said when your hair was shaved, you look like I did. I still do. I mean, like, I get taken for, I don't even know if lesbians allowed anymore, but I get taken for someone who loves the same sex a lot. I do. Oh, your wife is a super recognizer. She never forgets a face. Well, I don't forget a face. I forget a name. Faces are easy. It's the name that's associated with you. Your license plate is Piggy as Shoe. So I don't have a vanity plate because I don't always follow the rules of the road, and I don't want to hear about it. So I have a bunch of Facebook groups, and one of them, believe it or not, is Living Tallahassee Complaints Only. That's like 10,000, I think, where everyone just goes to complain and rant when you can't rant in other groups. And I did that group because I was really starting to get depressed about the primary group, which is called Living Tallahassee. And I was just getting so disgusted with all the complaints. It's just not what I want to spend my time on. So I was like, oh, wait, I'll just create a group where people can just go complain. And that's what I did. I think it's funny. I'm going to turn this air down. It's still warm out. And then we have another group. My radio show producer and I have a group called Tallahassee Bad Drivers. So people just post bad driving all over the place. I'm a really bad parker. Like, I park away from everyone and then get really pissed when someone parks right next to me. Like, that just jacks me up. It just really does. It happened today at CVS. Why? I'm not that friendly. Like, do I look like I'm going to protect you or something? But people do it. I don't understand it, but they do. So I'm not a good parker. Like I'll park at an angle, like my car is more important than your car. But I really do try to park far away from anyone. So why do people do it? They do. So I have those groups. So I don't want to hear about my whole bad driving. I'm not a bad driver. I don't have accidents. I just don't slow down at yellow, if that makes sense. But I also don't enter an intersection the second it turns green. So I hold a couple of seconds before, because I figure there's more people that don't slow during a yellow. And we have some really fast yellows around here. Your hair tells me you might have Aquarius placements in your astro chart. Well, Jade, since I have absolutely no idea what that means, I cannot tell you. I am a Pisces. I'm February 20th, and I was born in the evening. So that's all I know. Yes. Yeah, I have. Have you seen the videos of the shopping cart police? Let me tell you, I don't care how far the walk is. I take my cart back, because again, I don't want to be in someone's Facebook group saying Patty Wilson didn't take a cart back. So I always take the cart back. But that guy, I think the one you're talking about, Mia, there's a guy that says to this lady in a Subaru, let me take your cart back. Let me take your cart. That's what he says, is let me take your cart. And she's like, oh, thank you. And all he does is move it right behind her vehicle so she can't go anywhere. So funny to me. So I always take my cart back. You will never see that. She says it gets some people's face when they don't return their cart or leave them blocking cars in the parking lot. But I made a community post the other day where a guy makes chairs out of shopping carts, and I'm like, dude, this belonged to someone else. But he also had an ankle monitor on, so he probably didn't really care. So who is coming tonight? I know McRamble. I was rambling yesterday. If you can't watch it all, it's definitely get a pass. It was a lot. The first hour was, people are really nice. They're sending me emails saying, it's about justice for Dan. It's not about any one attorney, which it really is. And I still can't imagine being told as a family, we screwed up. And now, which I doubt they said it that way, but you can't sue the state. So, and now you got to wait. It's just horrible. I cannot park my GMC 1500 straight at all. Oh, I can park straight. I just choose not to. I just park with a little bit. I just don't want anyone near my truck. Just don't park near my truck. We just need to make sure Donna doesn't get her way, and 2.0 has an even bigger audience. Amen. Raid Rashbaum's office. Where's Charlie's phone? I don't think even Alex Morris even understood that question. I don't understand it. But where is Charlie's phone? Raid Rashbaum's office, get the Adelson files, subpoena Rashbaum back to Tallahassee, put him under oath, and have Everett question his actions. I don't know where attorney-client privilege stops and subpoenas go. I don't know, but Judy says the first 20 minutes yesterday were epic. I'm so impressed. Thank you very much. It is nice. It is nice that I impress people. Oh, Shelly's coming. Hi, Shelly. I'll see you there. That'll be nice. A familiar face that's real life. A real life familiar face. Because it is, I wish I was more outgoing. Just not. Just not. If you'd like to join Tennis Girl 101, it beautifully posts the membership. Thank you so much. You're a great parker, Stella Bella. Well, good for you. I mean, I am. I have a truck, so I back in my parking, and I think people think that's odd. But like Friday night, my husband Chris and I, We went to Carrabba's and it's a really tight parking area. So I have to back in or I'm never getting out. Where is Charlie's phone, New York Patriot Lady? It's a great question. D Love of God says, I'm sure Georgia is researching that phone thing. Has to be. Raven says this phone should be in evidence, but clearly it's not. Has anyone seen it? I haven't seen it pulled as evidence. AJ Mama says she listened all the way home from Panama City and then some. Bless your heart. I was listening to Judy, AA Legal Focus, the other night, and she had Patty N on, and they were commenting on how we handle the chat. And I mean we as in the chatters and then the admin and then me. And Judy says, I just can't imagine sitting there talking as long as Patty does. And I'm like, some days I can't imagine it either. Like if someone said, Patty, you're going to be on for 3 hours or 2.5 hours, I'd be like, no, I'm not. But it just turns into it. It's the weirdest thing. I love the idea of a complaint group. It works. People really do have a place to vent and can be really funny. So directing people somewhere is appropriate. Such a smart idea. Thank you. It really does work. It grew really quick, as you can imagine. And people are not kind. Like if they feel your complaint is whiny, they will tell you. It's a whole pit of honesty. And if you're not prepared for that, don't go in. It's really honest. It's respectful and yet honest. So my friend Jay, his name's Jay Bird, BYRD. He handles the group. I'm an admin, but I just started it and sent it on its way because I don't like all that negativity, believe it or not. And Jay does such a beautiful job. Like he is such a great admin of that group. And there's people from other areas because they can't believe that someone started a group for complainers. But we did. Wouldn't the state have all the phones? I didn't see that. I didn't see it on Charlie's. Let me see. I'm guessing there's a phone that maybe they didn't know about. Could that be it? I'll have to go through the... I'm opening the list of the state's evidence to see if I see a phone. Recording, deposition, wire calls. Here we go. This is part of it. This was from Charlie's case. The first part is about Dan Markel. I don't see it. I'll have to go through closer and see if there's a subpoena. Wendy Adelson phone. I don't see it. Charlie wants his phone to rifle through his contacts. No one is taking his call. No. It's Big says, I'm very suspicious of Alex mentioning the phone to the judge. I mean, to me, let's see. Subpoena returned, executed. There's so many subpoena. 1, 2. That's Junam Chinda. I'm going to have to go through, but I don't see it. I'm sure they have one phone, but I wonder if there's another phone. You think Charlie was trying to meet with Donna? Well, he's not allowed, so he's not allowed to meet with his mother because she's a co-defendant. Hey, Stella. Hey, Julia. Am I the only YouTuber who starts on time? I honestly don't know. Might be that way. It was good to hear from Patty Ann. She has a great take on that. I'm sorry that she's afraid of the Adelsons. I'm sure that that's a real thing for her because she lives probably down there and they're just so have no moral compass of anybody or anything. Susan B says, oh my God, where is Charlie's phone? I've never realized that. Yeah. I don't know there. I mean, I'm going to have to look for it. I just put phone in. What is it? Evidence when a discovery. That's the word that they use. Alibi. A lot of times the Charlie Adelson iCloud hit a Blu-ray. He had a Blu-ray. Please provide one blank BDR and one blank 32 gig thumb drive as placements. So if you're looking on these dockets, if you see discovery, that's where you find out what they've subpoenaed. I forgot. So this just says Charlie Adelson's iCloud. Catherine McBanoa. Access to discovery on an MP3 player so he could listen to it. This is back in November of 22. Matsuri meeting. I don't see it. Catherine McBanoa proffer. Motion defendant, motion to enforce course discovery deadline. State's response, let's see. So here they were trying to enforce a deadline, and then the state rejected that. Here's another answer to demand. Name change document. We know what that's about. Hallandale police incident report. That one's not public. So see right here, this one wasn't made public. There's no line there. I don't see it. I'm sure they have a phone, but I don't know that they have the phone. I thought Alex said, did you access my phone? That's not what he said. He said, have you seen my phone? Margaret says her Subaru has a front camera. So I bought a dash camera for like $300 and never installed it because I thought I don't want to know. Some things you just may not want to know. Mia says the complaint group reminds me of the notion of assigning a specific hour and day to fret and worry. Some people say it's very helpful and frees up their time of the day from worrying. Oh, that's smart. I didn't know. Jennifer, she said she could listen to me for 3 hours. No one else can. So I really appreciate it. Oh, Kaza T. Oh, thank you very much. You think Rashi's has Charlie's burner phone? I know. Lily says the privilege starts and ends with the client. So then what would be the point of sending a subpoena to Rashbaum? What would be the point? Well, Norma, well, thank you. I mean, I'd love to meet you. We can meet another time. She just got home from church for taking our 100-year-old mother to church and lunch. Where'd you go to lunch? Where do you like to hang out, Norma? They all had burner phones. Jersey says she has a complaints group, but it's called a discussion group. Charlie's phone, it was Alex Morris stood up and he was trying to show that he had a wall. And he said the first time he met with Charlie Adelson was with Michael Ufferman, who is Charlie Adelson's appellate attorney. And he said, Charlie asked me, have you seen my phone? And he said, I haven't. And it was Mentor Lawyer who picked up on that. At least to my ears. It was, hi, Life with Skylar. How are you? Yeah. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they don't have everything. He wasn't asking for the phone. He was asking if Alex has seen it. Have you seen my phone? Norma thought my blue and white stripes, which was an Old Navy t-shirt, made it look like I was going to jail. So she's very happy that I have floral on today. It's very funny. Oh, JML. In Charlie's trial, Katie said Charlie had a burner phone. Pat Sanford said they never could find his burner phone. Susan says June Umchinda said Charlie had 2 phones. Robin says, I wonder how Donna is viewed by her fellow jailmates, probably as a cash cow. McRebel says, we know he had multiple phones because feds didn't capture all his convos after Bump and knew it, probably because he'd made the Fed at Missouri restaurant when he was with Harvey. I think it's a good test, those government watchdog agency mics. Testing. Belize. Hi, Patty. Here in London, you wouldn't even be able to get out of your truck because our parking spaces are so tight. Plus, if you don't stay in the lines, you're liable to get a ticket. I don't go abroad much. You don't. So I went to England when I was 18, and it was for a Shakespeare class that we had, and we all got along really well. And it was like 30 students from high school with a bunch of teachers went. And I actually saw one of the teachers last week when I was in Pennsylvania. And when we were leaving Winston Churchill's grave, and I will never forget it, but I was walking across the street, and in the United States, you look left to right to left because we drive on, the right side of the road. The right, not the correct, but the right. And I got hit by a truck. I got hit by a bus. I got hit by a bus. The bus ran over my foot. And so whenever I think about getting a ticket or staying in the lines or really following the road in England, I chuckle because I got hit by a bus when I was there and haven't been back. But I do have a car that has left side driving. Right side driving. I have a 93 Toyota Land Cruiser where the steering wheel's on the right side. Can we do a request of his arrest video? Because from what I understand, when they got him, that crazy hairdo, they had basically a SWAT team there to take him. I don't know if we can. We could ask. The feds were the ones to arrest him, and they don't have body cameras. But my guess is there had to be sheriff's deputies there as well, right? Wouldn't that make sense? If they found it, Stella, would it be, I just want to scream Stella, I'm so sorry. Would it be subpoena with the electronics if they found it? Charlie and Adelson 4 will grift and scheme. They do not feel rules apply to them, and their counsel has enabled that as well. If you watched yesterday, I read to you, which I still think is funny. Harvey and Donna decided, here's the complaint. I just think it's hilarious. They decided to hire Gerstein and Barrett, B-A-R-E-T, to be their criminal attorneys back in 2016, right at that around the time that Sigfredo, this was filed in 2009. So Sigfredo was arrested in 2005, right? May 5th, May 26th or something, 2016. One of those days, late May. And so they charge card their criminal attorney and then did a chargeback, said that they didn't authorize the charge. So this attorney, Elin Barrett, sued Amex and Harvey and Donna, which I think is hilarious. They paid. It was settled out of court. They paid. They don't think the rules apply to them. But the whole reading, I was giggling out loud because I can't believe anyone would be that stupid. Like, how do you get through dental school? It can't be that easy. You get through dental school, you make millions grifting off of other people, and then you pull this crap. Like, you think you're going to get away with it. Ann says, Patty, I think it's the phone Pat Sanford talked about that they knew Charlie had but couldn't prove. Charlie's burner phone. I think it's a second phone, J-Man. Apparently not, because Charlie doesn't know where it is, and they would have to, if they had discovery on it, they would have to transfer it over to the defense. Raven says she thinks he wants something on there for the appeal. Maybe. That's a good point. Yeah, and I'm a talker too. I was on AA Legal for damn near 3 hours. Were you really? It's a long time, but you know. Charlie was sleeping. If his phones were locked, feds were arrested. Get a 9 tries, could be locked. Chuto, Tato, and Tito. Do I think Donna was communicating with Charlie on that phone? Absolutely. Don't you think Charlie was trying to orchestrate a meeting with Donna last Tuesday when all this... I mean, I'm sure he was, but Sheriff McNeil doesn't play. Praise the Lord. He doesn't play. Now, can you stop every message? This is what I was thinking about. You can't stop every message from inmate to inmate or jailee to jailee. You can't. There's just no way. They would have had to lock down the whole jail, and they may have when all these fools came in there. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? Are you going tonight? So I went on the lawyer that shall not be named post and read some of the comments. Oh. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I try not to read other people's comments on other people's videos. Like I just unfortunately don't have time. I would love to because I'm nosy, but Jay says, hi, Yindra. So Yin is Yindra. Yin V. Hey, Yindra. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Bet you're relieved. Can't even imagine being a witness in this case and constantly worrying about when I'm going to be subpoenaed again. I can't even imagine. You are going to the meet and greet. Good for you. So, Rebecca, you don't know this, but I do know your fiance because I was in for a while the Tallahassee 100 Club. So that's where I met your fiance. He may not remember me. The Adelson Institute is no longer in business. Harvey retired from there. I mean, they had to have. That's another reason. Having the same attorney do all this crap. It's just ridiculous. By the time this case ends, we'll all be prepared to take the bar exam. Well, I have a really good grade in my criminal procedure class, so I will with Sean Yao. He's my professor, and I don't know if you've heard me say it, but he's the head of forensics at TPD, Tallahassee Police Department. Now we don't speak to him, right? Hey, Sean, what's up? Would you come on my YouTube? I just can't picture it. He's so by the book, which it's a criminal procedure class. We have to, for this class, when you take a quiz, it's called Honor Lock. What a bitch. You have to have like your face in a screen. There can't be, look at my desk. Like my desk is full of stuff. Let me just show you. Like over here, I got stuff over here. I got piles of stuff. Like I go through in order. I do before I leave. I take everything out and go through it. And you can't have anything on your desk. You have to show your desk. You have to show your face. You have to show that your phones are turned over. You have to show everything. It's ridiculous. Speaking of which, I was going through this. I was watching Misha Janice's video on the Adelson rentals, and she didn't have any different rentals than I have. I still only have that he owns 4 currently, and one of them is the Whale Harbor house there where Charlie owns. But I was going through this 519. So it was 519 Southwest 27th, which is the first one. If you watch Misha Janice's video, it's the first one she went to. And she points out a sign. So I'm going to cover some of this because you can't have full addresses that's doxing, right? So she points out a sign that she redacts. And there's this, can you see it? CJ Management. Well, I went to Sunbiz. It's cjmanagement@gmail.com. So I went to Sunbiz, and just like Janice said, or Misha said, she's an attorney, that there is no entity, no, God, what is that? There's no entity, no corporate documents for CJ Management. So he's illegally calling himself a property manager. CJ's probably Charles J. Adelson, because they have the creativity of a mite. And you know what a dust mite is, right? That's what I mean. So the other thing it says on here is Zelle address. So they're getting their rents paid to them by Zelle, which is smart because you can't refund or charge back on a Zelle. But most banks don't allow you to have a Zelle with your business account. A lot of them don't. Mine doesn't. Centennial Bank won't allow it. So only would go to a personal account. But to imply, they're not paying. And then when they make payments here, if they write a check, if they're not Zelling, it goes to the LLC. So the CJ Property Management is just a bogus name. It's one more bogus thing among many bogus things that the Adelsons have done. Can you even imagine that? Julia says, Patty N., who was a guest of Judy's the other night, Judy at AA Legal Focus, which if you don't follow, I suggest you do first. She has some great comedy skits. She does a great Donna. She's just fabulous. Anyway, I was really looking forward to meeting her in person and won't get to right now anyway. Patty N saying she was surprised to see Wendy and Charlie at her wedding cruise. Harvey must have told a whopper, like saying he was an ERMD to the cop. Like, how do you just walk into someone's wedding? But then he was the videographer. Margie says, and when Donna was arrested, she said her attorney, Rashbaum, told her not to give her phone to the police. It's just so unethical. Claire says that ML yesterday's stream alluded to any complaint to the bar made by anyone other than another lawyer would not be taken seriously. Sounds like an old boys club to me, if that's the case. Well, all I know is what I sent the complaint. They've received it. They were kind, and I mean, it's a prompt, right? It's just a thing. But they do let you know they received it, and they will have an attorney look at the status. This is something that they won't be able to, if more people send complaints in. If it's just me, yes, he's probably right. They're just going to throw it under the rug and you'll never see it. But this is a murder case, which is very different from a robbery or just stealing a car or anything else. So it's a murder case. It's a big murder case, and it's become a big murder case. It isn't any bigger of a murder case than any other case that we have in Leon County. What did Jack Campbell say? We have over 100 murders just this year alone. So it's no bigger than that. Everyone has the right to live in peace and not be shot in the head in their garage. Okay, duly noted. However, it's the YouTube, the Justice for Dan, the Karen Cyphers, the Tamara, all these other people, Jared Ross, Joel, Tim Jansen, Katie Cool Lady, Fancy Fiction. She was the first. All of these other people created this huge amount of pressure. Roberta Glass, Misha Janice, True Lifestyles, all of these people who have top-notch YouTube channels, they're creating the pressure that will create, if you do write a complaint, they won't have a choice but to look at it. That's my point. And, you know, I know from Department of Business professional regulations, to my own ear, they said if another realtor turns a realtor in, they don't look at it seriously. They want it to be from the public. It's about public being damaged. Well, realtors are consumers too. So, and if you see what my friend Josh turned someone in recently was on unlicensed activity. They don't have a license. It happened to be a property management issue. But they were like, no, we're just not going to take it seriously. We told her to go get some education and try and get a license. Okay. I mean, you all make the regulations. You do what you want. Who cares what we actually read and take tests on? But yeah. So I don't play it. I don't care. I'm not attached to any outcome with regards to a complaint. It's not there's nothing I can do. All I can do is write the complaint because I was afraid, and I think I had every right to be, that the people who could make a statement weren't going to. So that's why I did it. There's no other reason. That's what Mentor Lawyer mentioned. Ann says, Patty, in Donna's note, she notes, get Charlie's phone. Well, she didn't. So I wonder where it was hidden. It's like probably at a bus stop. Remember? You probably don't remember, but like I love the Rockford Files. And I could just remember, you know, they'd find a key to a lockbox and it's at a bus station. And so they go and unlock the key and all this stuff, all this evidence comes out. That's probably what Charlie has, a key in a lockbox somewhere at a bus station. Yes, they did specifically post search warrants for Donna and Harvey's phone. I just don't see with a cursory look Charlie's. I don't see it. I think the police return a person's phone to family or your lawyer after it's been extracted. I don't know. I really don't. We are here for Patty and mischief. Oh, that's nice. Nice. If Rashbaum has had Charlie's phone, would he be required by law to turn it in? Yeah, wouldn't you? I don't know what the rules are. Let me ask ChatGPT. Because that's what I do when I don't know something. Because I don't have a bar license. I really don't know. How do I ask it? Is an attorney required to turn over a defendant's phone? Is a defense attorney? Let me ask. It says, let me share it. It says a defense attorney is generally not required to turn over a defendant's phone unless a court order or warrant. If there's a court order or search warrant compelling the production of the phone, the attorney or the defendant may be required to comply. Discovery obligations. In criminal cases, discovery rules require the defense to share certain evidence with the prosecution, especially if the defense intends to use the phone's content. However, these rules typically apply to the evidence the defense plans to present and not to all evidence. Possession of contraband. If the phone contains illegal materials like I'm not going to say the word, or evidence of an ongoing crime, the attorney may be required to report it or turn it over to authorities. So that's the answer to that. And that is the paid for ChatGPT. So no, he's not required. Jay, very interesting. Why would Raj have his phone? He's obligated. No, he's not. If you don't know what's in the phone, the state doesn't know unless they ask for a subpoena. So they would have to subpoena Rashbaum and specifically write Charlie's phone, I guess. Can you look it up as items taken into evidence from the search warrants? I think that would be public. It is, but it's not how they write it. So they write it as, let me go back. Let me show you what they write it. If I get out of it, hold on. I'm going to show you the docket again. So all I do is I'll go into the docket and then I'll just do Control F and do discovery like I have. And it's usually an answer to discovery. So the state has their subpoena. Not every subpoena is published in the docket. If they find the discovery, then they place it and they'll say it's an answer to demand and how they send it over. So this is 11/7/22. Right. What is that? A year right before. And this says clarification of Matsuri. (2023) Magbanua's proffers. I already showed you that one. This is where they wanted the state to hurry up, but they got denied. The name change, I already told you that was that one. 10/20. City of Hallandale. I just don't see it. That's one I already saw. This one is not public right here. So when it doesn't have this little PDF line, this wasn't made public. The minutes, hearing record, witnesses, and exhibits. That's just Phil Markel's victim impact. 35 letters. 35 letters received on the behalf of the victim. Roberta Glass reads them on a regular basis. Notice of appeal. Transcript from the hearing. Mm-mm. I just don't see it. But I mean, I could be missing it, but I don't see it. If somebody else knows where it is, feel free to share it with me. You will get credit. Wouldn't a strange number show up on all the conspirators? Yeah, but if they can't find the phone, they can't pull the data. It's more than just the phone number. They need that. Tater Bugg says, I can, Patty. Yay, Tater. Thank you. There is no property that I found. Doesn't mean there's not. I just haven't found it. Not under any of their birth names, not under any of their old LLCs or new LLCs. Like, I've checked old, because the Department of State with Sunbiz, you can do whatever you want. They're not the police. So if you have an old LLC and you want to use it again, you can. You just can't. You just wouldn't be able to use the taxes from it. Thank you for joining, Miss Wee. That's very sweet of you. Francis, you are very much exaggerating. I can't even say it out loud. You listen to me for 3 hours, you think it feels like 15 minutes? Golly. Well, what a great compliment. I can't even imagine. Yeah, you can look up under search of the records. I can send you a link to what I know. I mean, it's just a Google Doc, so I just share the Google link. You are a cart returner. Good for you. Mick Ramble says her husband is a personal injury attorney, and even he hasn't installed a dash cam. However, he'll definitely tell you it's one of the best things. Yeah, if it works on your behalf, it is. Otherwise, please share. What was the nickname? I gotta look. My phone was dead as a doornail. Hold on. Bling saying, Rashy Bum. Someone called him Rashy Bum. If you don't know, Bling and I text each other a lot. So, oh yeah, it was Rashy Bum. I did remember. Yay. She calls him Rashybum. Rashy Bum. You got a new puppy? Well, send us a pic. We got a new puppy, Border Collie and Aussie mix. Well, I hope you get some sleep, because that's a lot. I'm much looking forward to learning more about the 10,000 WhatsApp messages, right? That she said she didn't have. She said she didn't have it. She wasn't sure. Now all the parents have it. What parents are using WhatsApp about their middle school kids? Yes, I do. I think it's just a matter of time. And he may be just in place now in the meantime, but I absolutely believe he should be removed. If what Laurel Niles is saying is correct, which it sounded like Judge Everett believed her, I don't think any wall that man has is enough. I really don't. And still, it goes back to Rashbaum told him he had waivers. And Alex Morris believed him. Or Alex Morris lied in front of Judge Everett by saying he had waivers. One of the two is lying. And if you're lying to Alex Morris, and therefore Alex Morris is lying to the court because he doesn't know better, it's not his fault. My God, that's just treacherous. That's treacherous right there. And Alex Morris was in the elevator with the girl from the elevator. Alex Morris was in the elevator with him. Alex Morris heard him say, man, she's going to be upset when she finds out. And he said nothing because there were people in the elevator that weren't on the team. People are just so dumb. June said Charlie had more than one phone. I think Wendy had a burner too. I bet 100% she did. She probably had more than one. I hope she chokes on that Pepto-Bismol that she sucks down. I really do. The more I think about that woman, yep, Tater, it does. Charlie Adelson was the brains behind the operation. I don't think so, but I get your point, but I don't think so. Your 2-hour drive to Miami. I did the Roberta Glass sign off exactly when I arrived, and I actually thanked you. Aw, thank you, Nika. Do you live in Miami? Don't even need to say it out loud, do I? Except I will for my friend Laura, who listens to us. I would feel so much better if I got the sense the state is one step ahead of the criminals. Debbie Gibby, hey, remember June on one call pre-arrest that she was complaining he was always on the phone to exes and Charlie was mad at her. Ugh. Only 25 likes. Come on, people. I'm just kidding. It's not a big deal for me. Rashi also referred to having old yearly schedules of Donna. Debbie pressed like at 115 and she knows it too. Well, I do appreciate the likes because likes help the algorithm. Hashtags help the algorithm. Using keywords and videos help the algorithm. Trending music helps the algorithm, which I don't use music. New York Patriot Lady. I always wonder what's so sweet that Wendy said on Wendy's phone. That's the flip side to the comment on Charlie's phone. I know that she erased. I know. And poor, right, B Rabbit? The dirt rash and the Adelson 4 have on each other makes me very grateful for living a relatively simple and calm life, right? I always said God doesn't like people that he gave all that money to. Look at Diddy. I mean, he's like another Epstein. It's an unwritten, known issue amongst all the celebrities. That poor Justin Bieber, I can't even watch it. It's just sickening to me. And my granddaughters are really pretty. And Tegan, my 10-year-old granddaughter, is model built. Like she's lean, tall, great structure to her face, like really beautiful. And I always tell my daughter, let's ruin her life and get her an agent. I mean, who does? It would literally ruin her life. She wants to be a model. She could be a model. But no, you're 10. You just feed these people to the animals that they are. And how are the Adelsons any different? Give them a little bit of money and they go crazy. I do know that, Jay, because I have a call log. And I played that game. I was like, let's do a reverse search on all those phone numbers. You know what I found? Nothing. Quincy, Gadsden County. Quincy is a little town in Gadsden County. She didn't know anyone in Quincy. I knew then what she was doing, which is technically not even, it's against the rules to do it, but that's not stopping her. Yes, I know that now, Miss Wee. But I was 18 at the time when I got hit by a bus. I know that now. Raven says, I can't tell you how many times it's in reference to me being hit by a bus walking out of Winston Churchill's gravesite with his beautiful wife, Clementine, who I love very much. And I'm like, and my teacher got mad at the bus driver. And I was like, it's not his fault. You got to look right to left to right, people. We know they haven't searched the storage unit either. Is that true? It is nice to drive on the right side in that Land Cruiser. So I have let me show you a picture of it. Just a different one. So it's a 93 Land Cruiser. Right side driving. Mine has a wooden steering wheel. It's super cute. This is it. Mine's boxier than that, though. Mine looks like this. It's a Prado. And I bought it right before the COVID struck. So it's a Prado. That's getting painted soon. Where'd it go? I have so much open. I'm about to lose everything, I think. So, but that's what it looks like. Except it's more green. But it's very boxy. It has this like cattle bar thingy. And then the steering wheel's over on there. Mine's an automatic and a diesel. So it drives forever. I love it. Needs an alternator right now. So I got to get my guy to work on it. But it's a cool car to drive around town. Patty, I think Alex was walled off and has been in this long enough to get going with the case. He should be ready by late October. But that's not the point, Anya. He's not supposed to be. And let me show you. Florida Bar Rule 4.4, Chapter 4, 1.9. Conflict of interest. He's not supposed to be on it. If you rewatch the hearing from the 17th, you'll hear Laurel Niles, and I've already played it. Laurel Niles says, oh, why that's doing that? Let me get rid of all this stuff. Okay. So, conflict of interest. A lawyer who has formally represented a client in a matter must not afterwards. Shocking, right? Represent another person in the same or substantially related matter in which the person's interests are materially adverse to the interests of the former client unless the former client gives informed consent. So they originally were talking about 4-1.9b, and then Laurel Niles, who's an attorney and associate with Mike Ufferman's firm, says no, it's the relationship, not the information. So in B, it says use information relating to the representation to the disadvantage of the former client, except as these rules would permit or require with respect to a client or when the information has become generally known, or reveal information relating to the representation, except as these rules would permit or require with respect to a client. So, no. I mean, according to Girl, and she's a lot smarter than me, it's a no. And she has appeared before the Supreme Court of Florida. She doesn't look very old. She looks very smart. Charlie's burners are probably in that stretch of water at the bottom of the garden of his home, probably. Maybe that's one reason why they kept Whale Harbor. Maybe that's why. Maybe Whale Harbor still holds some more tales. That hot mic call, she had no expectation of privacy, and by Donna talking on an open line, waived privilege. Privilege held by a client. Rash had none in that example. And according to, I think it was Joe Patuto, I don't want to get the lawyers mixed up, but when there's three people, it was Tim Jansen. When there's three people, there's no privilege. So if another person that's not on the defense team is in the room, there's no privilege. Very much. The Adelsons definitely feel they're entitled. Wendy must have had a burner phone too. Why is she hardly on the wiretaps? McRamble wants people to go snorkeling by the property. Just run up that canal. See what you can find. That's so funny. Mia says Adel Rash isn't going to know what hit him when Harvey starts hunting him down, right? If that guy is willing to like backdoor an Amex charge of $20,000, it was really 10. The first 10 to a payment plan. It's just... Harvey's shakedown is coming. If you haven't watched Mia Janice's video about the rental properties, you know they are slumlords and not completely on the up and up. If you're willing to make up a name for a property management company because you don't want people to contact you and all you need is a Gmail, you're not really on the up and up. If you're willing to have your son-in-law killed because you just don't like that he wanted to see his kids and wanted to stay in Tallahassee where he had a freaking job that was better than your daughter's job, you might have a problem. Like, these people are nuts. Well, thank you, Wesley. It's very nice of you. Happy Sunday. Oktoberfest is around the corner. It is. I love me some German. I love me some any ethnic food, to be honest. Someone needs a metal detector. Go sit on a boat and then float around Charlie's old haunts. I don't even believe that Lewis threw a gun in the canal. I just don't believe it. Or in the water on his way down to Gainesville. I don't even believe that. I do not believe it. I wonder if Charlie has the gun. Yin says, I think Broward County sheriffs were there too because he was taken to Broward County jail first. I'm going to call them. I have to call the clerk anyway. Tomorrow, the records. Because I was looking for someone's death certificate down there. So I'm going to ask. Debbie says, I'm so glad Trashy Rashy is out. That was very clear communication thread to Charlie. I think he should have been out just because he was a crappy, attorney. Not that I'm trying to help the defense, but he really was awful. Just absolutely awful. Because they didn't need to. They had his attorney. So she's asking, why didn't they bring Charlie to court to question him in person? Because they had his representative. Rashbaum isn't his current representative. It is Michael Ufferman's office. And Laurel Niles was standing in for Michael Ufferman. So that's, you don't always need to go to court if your attorney goes to court. Felice says, I know you're absolutely right about Rashi and know his actions cause a trial delay, but I think in some sense it will be to Donna's detriment. Either she will give in and fess up or lose or die. I mean, she is 74 years old. We're talking about jail years. This isn't your average, like Leon County's nicer than most. I've never worked in another jail, but I can only imagine. I mean, they have sewing classes for God's sakes. But she could die. Other witnesses could die. If the whole thing is to get the big buckaroo, which is Wendy. Wendy is the big get. We always thought, people thought it was Donna. It's Wendy. Wendy is the big get. Donna can die after Wendy is the big get. But they need to keep that woman alive until then. No. We would already heard about it. 3 Cents says, do I think Donna's ever been physically violated? Are you kidding? She didn't get a spoon and she was going to tattle. She didn't get a chair when she was on the phone and she was calling her attorney. No, she's not being violated. McGramble says, at the time, we all thought secret apps were unable to be accessed by law enforcement, but now we know it's not true, which is true. We do. I bet she's like a mother figure in jail. I bet she has no emotion to anyone except herself. I mean, she's probably just using them. I think she's a cash cow. Here, come use my phone. Because she knows we go through phone records. This Debbie says that's why I blame all of them, even Everett. Come on, it's his job, his rules, but he can't. I have to go with Joe Patuto on that. She's a constitutional lawyer. Doesn't work that way. He can only push it so often. He ordered Rashbaum to tell him if there was an issue, and Rashbaum didn't do it. And he can't draw and quarter him, although. She can no longer call him doctor. Robin asks, when Charlie is called to testify in Donna's trial, will Georgia call him doctor, or did he lose that? Yes, he did. He is no longer a doctor or a DMD or anyone. Yindra says she never knew when to shut the hell up. Maybe that's my problem. Is that it, Yindra? Poor thing. I still feel sorry for you. I really do. I mean, we'll talk about wrong place, wrong time, poor thing. Do you think Rashbaum is holding phone as a type of gem or blackmail against Charlie? No, I think he's the state. If they haven't subpoenaed him for it, I just read you from ChatGPT that it's not required. It's only required if he's going to use what's on it to rebut the state. I think Wendy was very careful about talking on phones and emails. It's maddening, but it seems like they need Wendy's testimony in Donna's trial and won't arrest Wendy until after. That is true, Annie. I'm going to puke. I look at man's hands, like, it's the first thing I look at is hands, and then teeth. And if your hands are like that, it just gags me. I don't know. There's something about it. Having his hands in your mouth, I can't believe there's not more, as many shows as there are, and many YouTube shows as there are about Adelsons. I can't believe there haven't been tenants, people who've been sued by them, former friends. No one's really coming out. No one. Villanelle's Boots. Did you know that Georgia Kappelman started working on a cookbook during COVID? I didn't. I saw an article in which she says she likes to bake. No. I think she rides a horse. Does anyone know if she does like horseback riding? She just has that physique that looks like can handle, that she could wear some jodhpurs, if that's how you say it. What do you think Harvey is saying to Donna and Charlie when he talks with each of them with all the latest? Not much if he's smart, because what he says is still recordable, right? It's record. It's not privilege. It just is that Harvey doesn't have to testify against her. But so unless he's talking about how much money to put in the canteen, he should be keeping his damn mouth shut. I was going to meet her and go out to dinner with her at the trial. New York says Misha and I could do a collab. Can someone take the bar without going to law school? There are certain states. Do you remember Kim Kardashian tried that? She tried, because California is a state where you don't have to take the bar go to law school to take the bar exams. And she failed. Hey, Becky Ireland. Is that your last name? Or are you in Ireland? Caught your live. I absolutely love your channel. Oh, thank you. I worked for a lady. I took care of her son. Her name was Kathy Ireland, not the model, but her last name was Ireland. Creativity of a dust mite, T. I mean, am I wrong? They don't. Thank you, Carol, very much. What's up with the ducks in your name, Carol? What's up? Yin says, I'm very relieved. I screenshot the email from Sarah Catherine Dugan, saying I didn't have to go, and sent it to all my friends. Aw, it's got to be a lot. I mean, you're in front of murderers. It's never fun, right? And all these people watching, and then you have all these YouTube channels dissecting everything you say. Like we have June. I haven't done a show on it, but I mean, it's like literally people would ask me after poor June and Chinda gets on the stand and, well, she's a realtor. What do you think of her being a realtor? Do you think she should be a realtor? Do you think she's a good realtor? How many homes has she sold? Did she sell any homes? Is she going to sell any homes? Like, how? I don't know her. Like, I didn't know her. I still don't know her. And I'm like, oh. So there's a rule in real estate that you can't talk bad about other realtors. I wonder if it's the same with lawyers. You can't talk bad about other realtors. You can't just say like, oh, she wears blue shoes, so she's a crappy real estate agent. You're not allowed to do that. If it's true, you can say it, just like anything else, but you got to be really careful when you do that. But people were like peppering me, and I was new to this, and they're like, is June, how do you feel about her being a realtor? She's with Keller Williams. You were at Keller Williams. Should you be with Keller Williams? Are you going to go back to Keller Williams? Have you called her? Do you want, like, Lord have mercy? No, I haven't. And I still haven't. But I imagine on that side of it, she's a young girl. I think she's in her 30s, right? It just being absolutely analyzed from her handbag to her shoes to her walk to the way she looked at him walking down which she did say, happy birthday, Charlie. Who does that? Like all of that stuff. And I'm like, oh God, poor kid. I mean, that's my daughter's age. So you don't know who you fall in love with. As a surgical nurse, this level of stupidity goes almost to bringing a patient on the operating room table and the surgeon asking, did we get x-rays? Do we have any anesthesiologists? That level of, oh my God. Hey, Oliver, did you see that guy that was in Destin, Florida, that they took his liver instead of his spleen? So he had upset stomach, like regurgitation, whatever was going on. And they said his spleen had to be removed. And his wife wanted him to go home to Alabama. And he's like, or Alabama or Louisiana, one of the two. And they're like, no, you need to stay here. It could rupture at any moment. And that doctor took the wrong organ, took his liver, and didn't even realize he did it so everything ruptures, like he's bleeding out when they take the liver, just everything ruptures. And they didn't know until they did an autopsy. The medical examiner figured it out. So when someone says that, do we have the x-rays? Did we take the right leg, the correct leg? I wonder about it. McRamble, you and Misha should collab. Let's ask Misha to initiate. Oh, nice. Thank you. I really did. I thought I was going to have dinner with her. So I don't know where she lives. She live in South Florida? Susan says, Yin, I realized who you were, but I thought it was up to you. But as asking this question, I already know you're doing well. Good for you. Miss Wee, I still can't get over all that handwritten paperwork of Donna and Harvey. It looks as a professional as a toddler drawing. I mean, these people didn't want to spend money on like QuickBooks. Like it's all there. So I did figure out a couple of English-speaking tenants because I've been going through each tenant one by one. And I did reach out to Facebook Messenger for a couple of them. I'll let you know if they respond. He was a tenant that there's no notes, no bedroom. Like he was supposed to be in unit 110, but there's never a payment for him until he leaves. So I was wondering if he was like their little maintenance guy there and they just didn't charge him rent. Judy is great. Patty does bring the receipts. I don't like to talk about things if I don't know. That's why when people tell me or other people are saying like she doesn't know what she's talking about, I may not. I could be absolutely wrong. But provide me with evidence that I'm wrong. That's all. Dust mite. He absolutely remembers you. Oh, nice. Tell him I said hi. Rebecca, I pointed out earlier in the program that I knew her fiance. He owns a pool company here in town. He does pool cleaning. Mr. C, Donna was also surprised that the Leon County did not inform her about the arrest warrant. Yeah, wasn't she? So what I was going to talk today is about this title of the show is Donna Sue's Fallen Faith. So someone asked, and I don't know anything about plastic surgery. I've never had it. The only alteration I've made to my face is to have my eyebrows microbladed because I've overplucked for 57 years. Like I probably started plucking, unfortunately, at like 17. And so I overplucked, as my kids would know. I would sit, I know it's a tick, like a tick thing, or they call it tick or something, but I would sit at like red lights and just pluck out my eyebrows, like not even paying attention, because they would come in. This is so personal. They would come in like hard as a rock and like crunchy. And especially as I age, I would just pluck them. And it didn't really matter that I didn't have anything to replace it with. So a couple of years ago, I got the wild idea to have them microbladed, which I go every 6 months now. But that's it. Like I'm not doing Botox because of botulism, because that's what it is. I'm not having a knife taken to my face because there's a lot of trust there. I mean, dude and Destin took the wrong organ. So I'm really not having that. I don't like anesthesia for elective surgery. It's just not a thing. So I just haven't done it. But people are asking about Donna's face. Like, why is her face like this? And they were like, what are these bulging things on her face? I'm sorry, it's not funny. Woman is in jail, so she can't get her fillers done. This is such a great look for her. Such a great look. This is probably one of my favorite photos of Donna. So right here, she had fillers. So I showed you her high school photo yesterday. Let me get it up real quick if you can. That's what he said. And he so you know, that's what he said. Let's see. Let me show you Donna's high school photo so you can see. That's her high school photo, right? Donna Jacobs. Completely different. And where'd she go? I can't keep anything up. I think I still have too much open. There's that one. And then that next to her. So you can see she's had her nose job. Like that's a big nose. Her lips don't even look remotely like the same woman. What did she do? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what this woman did to her face? She had a nose job. Lip reduction surgery? Like these look normal. Oh, she's definitely had a facelift. You can see it right in here. She's had fillers put in because her cheeks are not even in a normal place. Like her cheeks are really high up instead of low. There you go. That's a good photo. But those lips are non-existent. I lost my way in your comments. From the Tallahassee Democrat Charlie trial, no evidence Charlie had a burner phone. Cross of detective by Rash. Well, because they don't have it. Stella says she loves to cook. But look at that face. We should. We do have a tribe. Thank you, Shiraz. Georgia's dad was a famous FSU quarterback. I believe he played in the pros for a while. Her mother is a real estate broker and an icon to me. Like when I met her at the trial last year, I was so excited. I was super excited to meet her mother. Bossy Texas chick says, I completely disagree. Judge Everett did not have to accept Rashbaum's candor to the court regarding waiver. He could have asked to see it. He could have. I agree. Latin king. How did he say Latin? It wasn't Latin kings. It was like Latin kings. Certain. Yeah, he would say a certain. Not certain, certain. Oh, thank you, Crime and Coffee. She has a lovely channel. Crime and Coffee is a Canadian, not far from where the Markells were. I got to be on her channel once. It's just lovely. She does what I do, basically have a chat, have the conversation. She's doing a lovely job, really is. Donna's note said sell gun. That was that. What did I call it? An AR-15? They're worth like $2,500. Patty, please answer. It looks to be falling in person. So in photos, I don't know. But you could see a cheekbone here, and then you see a filler up here. But look at this scar down here, this line. My God. They do. They dress really well. Georgia and Sarah Catherine are always smart. Always wear a jacket because it's freezing in there. Always dress smartly. Oh my God, Patty, did you read about Kim Kardashian went to prison with her sister Khloe to see the Menendez brothers? I know. Yeah, did you see Kim Kardashian sent a cease and desist because she showed up in the videos of Diddy's party, and the guy, it's on Twitter, now known as X, and the guy's refusing to take the videos down, and he should. She's in a party. These aren't private. I thought she was going to take the bar exam. Then she would know. All they were trying to do is bully the guy, and he's like, too bad, you were there. We have no idea, Joan. She said maybe Rashbaum was supplying Charlie with a phone. We have no idea, but woo. She is, but my gosh. I mean, to go from she has Instagram. Like her Instagram's pretty, so I'll give her that. But to go from basic anonymity to being completely dissected by strangers has got to be a lot. Oh, good for you. Becky said she chose her last name in divorce court. She chose Ireland. Good for you. The Eagles just won 15-12. Close one. Can I tell you a funny story today? So I'm walking out of DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse. I had to get shoes. And I had points. So I was going to get shoes before here. And I see this lady decked out. I thought of bling. Bling is the new black. She had a Dallas Cowboys shirt on and it was blingy. And she's coming towards me. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And she said, what? What? And I said, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm so sorry. And she looked me dead in the eye and she goes, Steelers, Giants, or Eagles? And I said, Eagles. We just had a laugh and then she walked on. But she was like owning the Dallas Cowboys. And if you're an Eagles fan, it's okay to make fun of them. So that's why that. But she took it so well. And I called my son James. I was like, James, he likes the Steelers. STS interview with Yinder and Ryan was really good one. Where is Ryan gone? Probably one of their best episodes. Highly recommend it for people also. Where is Ryan gone? Poor Ryan. He's another one. I mean, he probably, I don't know if he just didn't want to take the heat anymore or the opportunities. Some people think it's an opportunity. Some people don't think it is. I don't know. He could write a book. How do you think it will take Donna to go to trial? A year. A year. I don't want to say it, but I think at least a year. I'm not going to reply. I'm not going to post this, Patricia. I saw what you said, but those are her teeth. Because, I had to go find her sister, her mother. I had to go find everybody. They all have the same teeth. Miss Wee says, I'm not medically qualified, but wouldn't the liver be a lot bigger than the spleen? Yeah. And in a different location. Oh, they're taking his license. From what I read, it's not even his first time. That woman's going to own the hospital, the doctor, the insurance company, everything. McRamble says, Yinder is a real one. She joined us on True Crime Metrics streams recently to rewatch court videos and is a total sweetheart and badass. Well, isn't that nice? The liver is twice as big as a spleen. Yeah, so he's just incompetent. Yeah, I mean, Yin coming out and doing these shows, nobody has to do that. Nobody is required. I mean, I've asked people. I've asked, well, just today, I got to give them some time. But I asked tenants of the Adelsons. I've asked, there was someone who was in a lawsuit with Siegfried and Magbanua. And Yin may remember this, but they were in a car accident and there was a lawsuit, but he didn't even know them. It was an insurance thing. So he was like, oh my God, I was hit by murderers. And we're like, sure. He had no idea. He didn't even know the case existed. And so when I told him, because he called me because he's a real estate agent, I was like, did you know? And he's like, I had no idea. He said, I guess I escaped. And I'm like, no, they weren't looking at you. You're not their son-in-law. You don't know that professional code of silence is always a good thing. You should be able to protect people from bad docs, crooked lawyers, careless real estate agents. You should. Unlicensed activity. My mom used to say, Wesley says, I might be wrong, but I'm still right because I'm your mother. Yeah, it's true. I like right versus correct. The whisker irritated me from my eyebrow. Oh, yeah, it did. Ooh. Can you email me, Marna? 85. I was giving you my phone number. pattyisfunny@gmail.com. That is trick though. Yeah, that one. Thank you. Talk about me pulling my eyebrows out. You think her Botox is sliding down? Does Botox disintegrate? It breaks down over time, which is why it's only a temporary solution. The protein in Botox breaks down into amino acids. The effect wearing off over time and the muscles start to move again. Wrinkles appear. What about fillers? Face fillers when you stop. Once fillers are no longer used, you'll see the signs of age reappear. If you use fillers for a long time, the difference may be noticeable. You think? Because her face has changed. Like, here's a cheekbone, right? And then there's her cheekbone. That's all filler. It's just so, well, he's just not even worth my time. She's only 74 years old and looks 80. Easily. Right here. That's where you see it. See this one? That's where you see that facelift, and it didn't affect her neck. And she wanted to go back in and get her arms done. I guess they could only pull back so much. You do have to be your own advocate. Thank you for saying that, McRamble. Medical mistakes are much more common than you think, but serious ones are very uncommon. Please be your own advocate. You are not kidding. Yurts and things says, Patty, I have that. I can never say it either, but I picked all my eyelashes out when I was 10. I guess from anxiety. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I continue to this day. Used to lie about it. Now I don't. Oh, bless your heart. I don't do it anymore because I'm paying for eyebrows, but I understand what you're saying. She is, I mean, she covers them here. Right there, you can see it. It's just unbelievable what she's done to herself. Moving fillers will migrate south on your face. Thank you, Rebecca. I love Donna in her turtle suit. First appearance in Leon County. I posted a video to the members, and it was her shuffling in her orange suit with Jason Jones. That was awesome. Says she looks like Satan himself. Oh, I'm cute. Well, thank you, Elliot. I think so too. Yo mama wears combat boots. I had a shirt when I went into the when my daughter went to the Army, because I was Air Force. I bought that for myself to wear. In her yearbook photo, she looks like Amy Winehouse. Yeah, I could see that. See how that one turned out too. Her ears are massive. It's the lobe, right? Not the ear. Patty AM said very little, but he was very intentional with his words. In my opinion, Charlie is also intentional. The most important question about Charlie's phone, why did Morris bring it up? Intentional breadcrumbs. Maybe. I hope so. Oh, your daughter is a professional injector, and it looks like she did it on the cheap. You could see it right here. This is a good picture of it. But what happened to her lips? They've now learned that certain fillers don't wear off over time and actually get larger because they hold and attract moisture. It's why people are getting puffy pillow face. No. She clearly had a nose job. She overdid her face stuff. Now she's like this, says Stella. Could be lip implants. Well, not here. She didn't have lip implants in 1968. Alex mentioning the phone was to put it on record that he hasn't seen it. Your brother misdemeanor is a plastic surgeon. She went to my college, Queens College, School of Education. Wow. Do you know anyone who knew her? True Crime Wifey said the surgeon in Destin that removed the liver instead of the spleen had made another major mistake. I don't know what the mistake was, but that's what I'd heard. No way you don't get lips smaller. I mean, her face just doesn't. If I didn't know it was her, I wouldn't know it. You think she looks like Wendy? I just don't see it, Michelle. I just do not see that she looks like Wendy. Oh, she definitely had the braces and the caps. Mm-mm-mm. Sally thinks her chin looks shorter. Where are those pictures of the two of them together? Here. Does not even look like the same woman. So these are like completely capped teeth. Like that's completely different. Do you think they look alike? She was gummy in her Wheel of Fortune appearance. I wonder if she had her jaw or teeth to fix that. Only the mouths look alike. Yeah, I don't think they do. Compare both high school photos. It's not going to be good. I mean, even this one. I just don't. I still think. You think they favor one or the others? Why are these people like putting my street address out. There's a couple people. Do you think you're funny? I mean, seriously. Where's that? Do you think you're funny by putting my house and street number out? Come to my house and see what happens. Seriously. This one. Who is Tarpon Dog? Why are you putting my street address out? I'm not going to block you because I want to know what you're doing. That's why I don't block people, because I want to know what they're doing. There's a couple of them. One gave out my house number. One's giving out the street address, like the address, the street road. If you think I'm intimidated by you, I'm not. So show up and see what happens. I feel like what was her name? Kamala Harris. Did she say show up? If you show up to my house? Where is he? Where's the other one? This is why I don't like to block people. Because how do you know what they're doing? The other's name was Elliot, which I think is odd because I believe Donna's brother's name is Elliot. Trying to find it now. Elliot, where are you? Right there, this one. Who are you, Elliot? Show your face. I show mine. Bunch of cowards, I swear to God. Maybe. I'm not reporting them. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just giving my house number and then a road near my house. It's Graber. It could be. Could be any of them. My life is public. But they are cowards. And they think I don't notice. They're gone now. Come join me at my office and see what happens. I mean, but people do that on purpose, right? They're doing that because they think it. But I want to see them, Shiraz. That's my point. Yes, he put my address in the chat. You don't see it, so he blocked you. Yeah, they'll just use an alternate account. That's true. I don't know who it is. I'll never know because that is YouTube and how it works. Your handle's very private. But I highlighted you so that I can go back and look at it. And so most people would just block them, right? I don't want to block them. Maybe. Chances are it's someone who's pro Adelson. Well, why else would they be giving my address out? Look, I hardly live in Fort Knox, but I have like 8 cameras outside. So, I mean, if you show up, you're going to show up. No one in the world can be pro. So, going back to this, like her lips look like her lips. Like Wendy's lips look like Donna's lips, right? But that's it. I mean, I don't see it. The eyes are completely different. So that leaves Tova or Graber. That's right. Tova. Tova's a coward too. Well, thank you, True Crime. I mean, but they know my address. It's public, so it is what it is. She has Harvey's eyes. Beady. See, there he goes. This is Tarpon Dog. No, Tova was not a Holocaust survivor. She's not. Can we get a picture of their milkman years ago? That's funny. You can't investigate on YouTube, and they're smart by using, I don't know, I can't see it. Can someone else tell when an account was? Probably today. Probably today. It's a troll who looked up my house. How do you do that? How do you look up someone's page? I know a lot, but I don't know. How do you do it? I just don't know how to look up someone's profile on YouTube. Google it. It's not going to help. Go look at channel activity, expand the sections if there are multiple, screenshot them. Oh, thank you, Jill. That was smart. Joined a month ago, only 3 posts on here. Thank you, Rebecca. Now I'm learning. You can click on someone's name, which will take you to their channel and see what they have commented on a specific channel. Oh, nice. I honestly didn't know that. I didn't know that. Cool beans. Can you get back to the case? Sure, Tarpon. Be happy to. So, Mia Wallace is now upset. No. So seriously, I just don't see that she resembles her here. This is all fillers. Look at this poor woman's face all stretched out. She's got that like Joker look. I don't know what they call this. I'm getting them too. The lines in your chin. I don't know. They just don't look alike, dude. Academy of Achievement. Oh, this is her writing class. When she was in the writing class where she spilled her guts. Oh, that's her. She uses this photo for everything. She's worse than a real estate agent. She really does. That photo is years old and she's still using it as her headshot. Look at her sad. Oh, okay. Thank you, Shiraz. Marionette. Thank you. I'm getting them right here. Thank you. Marionette lines. Thank you. Okay. Donna Adelson. Look at that chin. What did she do to herself? Her lips look normal then. What happened to Sam? Does anyone know? Yes, he does look like a turtle. They all had the same surgeon, Wendy and Donna. I don't know, Anya. I mean, if it makes you feel good, I'm for it. I just don't think that that's like, don't commit a murder and then end up in jail or prison because then there's no one to fix your face. Yeah, she definitely had the 80s hair. But I have the 90s hair. Do they have silk pillowcases in commissary? Nope, they don't. Bling lives on a ranch. I just don't think anyone would approach. I mean, I could be wrong. These ranches in Texas, you've got to assume people have more than one weapon, right? A real estate woman has a cut out of her whole body and face. She thinks she's the bless her heart. Yeah, we don't do that. I don't put my pictures on everything. Not that I couldn't, I just choose not to. Family rate. I wonder if they charge back any of that. Groupon surgeon. That's funny. Botox probably didn't have been invented when she was on Wheel of Fortune. No. Just so sad. Want them to zoom in. She only had $500. Anyway. June's teeth are her own. They are her own teeth. Do not say negative about sweet turtles. Oh, that's funny. I don't know where Honeycutt is. I wonder if she had to cancel her tickets. We're talking about Morgan Honeycutt. I've never seen the movie Less Than Zero. Amy Justice says she has ear scars from her lower facelift, of course, a nose job, a small breast implant based on anniversary pic, skin quality terrible from South Florida sun, that backyard pool and tennis court. Yeah. Yin says she can. Poor June. She can confirm they are her own teeth. Poor June. I know. Yin, is she dating? I hope she's dating. It's a great movie. I'll have to look it up. Less Than Zero. I don't know it. Miss Wee says, if she kept the large, we're talking about Donna. If she kept her larger chin she used to have, it might have stretched out her aging skin as she grew older, right? The only one I remember having a chin was Carol Burnett, who's still alive and well, I'm sure. She's in her 90s. But when she made it big, she had a chin. She felt like she didn't have a chin. So she went and had a chin implant. And every time I look at her, she comes out on probably Dinah Shore, which is an old talk show, and announces that she's had this chin implant. I've never been able to look at her and not think about that chin implant. It's gotta hurt. Like, it's gotta hurt to like cut your chin open and go. I think she's pretty too. I think June is pretty, Sonia. June is still mourning Charlie. Well, have you ever had a first love? Like, no, I don't know that it's her first love, but she was really hung up on Charlie. And as a female, I've had those. Luckily, I got to marry this one. But golly, like, I've had that feeling where you're really hung up on someone and it's hard. No, she hasn't shacked up with Harvey. True integrity. April loves golf is when she says is when your insides match your outsides. Diet Coke is what my insides look like. I know. What did she say, kitties? She says June wants to think the best. That bubble is likely burst. She says if he hadn't been a murderer, he would have been the perfect guy. What's her face? Donna's had 2 chin surgeries. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. Well, if you don't have one and you have like that straight, I bet Rash Bomb would like a chin right about now. All surgeries hurt. It's true. I think she's pretty too. Bev's misplaced highball. Funny. She remembers Dinah Shore. I like Dinah Shore. Remember she used to date Burt Reynolds, which I never understood. Michael Jackson had implants in his chin. You never knew Carol Burnett did? Yeah, look at the original Carol Burnett and then like in the 80s Carol Burnett. She had a chin. When people get their nose done, they often get a chin. In my younger life, I was tempted to get a nose job because I wanted it to look like my older sister's nose. But now, because your nose continues to grow, right? We all know that it's turned into my mother's nose, and now I would never give it up. So she fell hard for Charlie. Yin says, I can also confirm she was very hung up on him. And I feel for her with that because when I was younger, I had a really hard time with, I wasn't like a stalker or anything, but you're just emotionally, like you become emotionally attached to these guys. And it's, it was hard. No one ever warned you that when you're young and dating. No one ever warned you that it's going to hurt physically when you give up on someone because you have to. Apparently, Shrimp, who was Luis Rivera's girl, I think that I don't know, she had his children and is doing very well too, in case anyone worried about Shrimp. Ha ha. I found her just to see what she looked like because I didn't know. The whole he's a murderer thing should make it easy to get over him. Yeah, I don't think so, because you always like, mm-mm. I mean, for me it would, but I can understand that it wouldn't, because you didn't see him commit murder. He didn't pull the trigger himself. Like, there's, I think, a lot of rationalization that goes on in her head that I hope she has someone to talk to, because it's just probably like anything else. When something tragic happens, it's just so hard to believe. And if you didn't witness it, how do you believe it, you know? June did look very nice wearing an all-white outfit. I can't pull it off, but good for her. She's got a great body. She's really pretty. Oh, he absolutely was able to give her that lifestyle. Wasn't she like Miss Broward County or something? Like, she'd been in a beauty pageant. Gentry. I'm trying to be passionate, empathetic to June. She's like, yes, but it's been 10 years. It's insane she hasn't grown up yet. She should be at the point where she realized she dodged a bullet, but all she cares about is money. Thought she really scored. She got a loser. Well, I hope that. I mean, you can't not date people for years after you dated someone who's now incarcerated. And she didn't date. I mean, she said she hasn't really had a relationship. That's not money. Did I get what you're saying? Happy birthday. It really was. When she walked by and said happy birthday to him, I almost fell out. And, you know, when you're sitting in a courtroom, when you're Judge Everett's court, you can't make a face. You can't blink long. You can't give any tell at all. And so she walked by and said, happy birthday. Who does that? So crazy. Besides the murder, he seems like an ass. Really did. Just so like, I mean, to sit on the phone and tell your mother that you wouldn't date someone over the age of 37 when you're like 37. Oh, yeah. The one who gave birth to his son, apparently. Jill says, didn't one of Ted Bundy's girls think the same thing? Yeah. Yeah. And that female that he was dating in Washington, that he had the daughter around, I don't think she ever remarried. And the woman that he married when he was in court, I have a whole family tree on that one too, on Ted Bundy's, because it was his wife, because it was an open court. He said, I marry you. And she said, I marry you. And then when she realized he really did it, when he came out right before his execution, and she was like, I don't even know who you are. But I have a whole family tree on Ted Bundy, on that woman. So I found she's died. She died of MS, I believe. But I found the Stephanie, the original woman that supposedly he went on the kill hunt for. Her name was Stephanie in the book, but that's not a real name. So I found her. I found them all. I was just sitting there one Sunday going, you know, there was some sort of movie on, and I was like, I'm going to go find this girl. And I did. I found her. She got married. She's never had children. She lives in Washington State. She's very well off, and she's kept her mouth shut, which you got to commend. He has more layers of chins, but he doesn't have a strong chin. Like, his chin is like not a chin. Well, Michael's plastic surgeries are just insane, Mr. C. June said in her interview, per Rosemary, that Charlie would be her dream guy, except for the murdering and the cheating. Oh, yeah. He really did cheat a lot on her, didn't he? Stop it. Jay says, I think they put the chin implant in from the mouth. What? Thank you, KS. I really hated my nose growing up, but now that I know it's shaped like my mother's, I'm on. I'm good. She was so happy to see him. She really was so happy to see him. Love hurts. Thank you, Wesley. Well, thank you, Mia. You're very kind. Patty is hot. Who is this? Oh my God. Is that my face? Oh my God. You people are nuts. Oh my God. I'm like, that's my head. When you fall hard, it's coming out of drug withdrawal. Yes, it is. Dinah Shore's husband, George Montgomery, famous Western actor, by her side always, even while she was dying. Aw, I didn't know that. June is hung up on the Charlie he showed her, not the real Charlie. True. Being kind is better says it took her 26 years to let go of someone, and I can't really say I give totally let go of him. Aw. Are you going to be one of those, like when you're in your 70s and you're in the nursing home and you find him at the nursing home, you hook up? You think Lewis's girl was Jessica? Thank you. I don't remember who Shrimp became. I feel for June. I know she could do better, but she's got to go through it to figure it out. She's gorgeous, seems basically kind, but stunted. I mean, if it was my daughter, I just would want to shake her. Like, what are you thinking? June also accused the Tallahassee Police Department of taking advantage of her feelings about Charlie and breakup. That is their job. Someone was murdered. That is their job. Clearly, she doesn't watch any detective shows because they are allowed to lie to you. She is pretty. I don't know her intelligence level, but she is a pretty girl. June's love for Charlie is the kind of unconditional love a parent has for a child. Yeah, but if he's cheating on you the whole time, you're right. I forgot about the cheating part. The line cheating. And he pushed her. That's where I was like, girl, how on earth? Remember, he was physical with her. Charlie said he would never date someone with children, then immediately dated Katie. But that was just sex and murder. That Ted Bundy movie was really good. Love from Bulgaria, Leonie. Wow. So there's a pizza place here in town called Village Pizza. And there is a beautiful, like beautiful girl, Sophia Loren, beautiful, who's from Bulgaria. It's not your average like location. Pull out the pic of Donna from yesterday. The guy top right looks like Charlie with the ears. I don't know what that one is. I don't know which that is. You mean the family photo? You mean this one? So if you don't know, someone was kind enough to send me. You mean this guy? This is a photo. Somewhere in here is Lorraine Jacobs, Isabel Jacobs, Sarah Jacobs, Charlie Jacobs. So Donna Sue Adelson, Jacobs was her maiden name. Her father's name was Charlie. It was Charlie, which is Charles. And then Lorraine, she was Lorraine Roth, but she went by Lena. And I think he's saying this could be Donna. I want to know how Wendy is landing such rich guys. I don't know. I just don't understand how someone could know the history of these people and still sleep with them. I just don't get it. April says she cuts June some slack. She was young once and believes the dreams offered by dates. Wow. It's true. They'll say whatever they want. We've also made plans and promises that have been broken. Watch June in either Katie and Sigfredo's trial and Katie's second trial. She was very defensive and she was still protecting Charlie. Yeah, she's still protecting him today. I think she knows more than she said. It's just me. I thought I knew everything about Bundy. What did you mean by the one he went on the kill hunt for? Stephanie, remember the girl that rejected him? And then he went and he was going to law school and then he goes back to the girl. And then she was like, oh, let's get engaged. You like created something with your life. And then he's like, no, screw you. And then he started killing. Some of these things I cannot say about Rashbaum. I'm not going to post them, but they are very funny. I'm reading them. Thank you, B Rabbit. Rashbaum looks very different now to Charlie's trial, Jay. He's put on the pounds for sure. It's very stressful, I'm sure, when you get up the stand and you have no business being there. Yeah. But do you remember that, Sharon? The woman? I don't think she was. Bling says, wasn't June a Miami Dolphins cheerleader? I don't remember that. I know she was in a... Hold on. I know she was in a beauty pageant, but her account is private, which I can't blame her. I'd have done that. I don't know. Doesn't say its account's private. Thank you, kitties. Thank you very much. Thank you, RJ. Carol Burnett also had a max low facial surgery where they brought her upper jaw back because a friend of mine did the surgery. Oh my God. All of that sounds so painful. Shrimp was Siggy's side chick. Thank you, Francis. And Sunny and San Clemente thinks that Jessica was Shrimp. I don't know her real name. I don't remember it. Yurt says June probably thought she could fix him. You know how we can fix the bad guy, and only we can. No other woman could do it. Only me. I do know that. The others are inept. Jill says unconditional love is from a dog. That's funny. Talking with Tara used to be a surgical technologist who worked for a private plastic surgeon's office. We did it all. It must kill June that Charlie had a kid with someone he dated. I know. I can't even imagine. I wonder if she still thinks he's got, even though he looks like Steve Buscemi now. Charlie is by nature a predator. June was a victim. And, this goes back to like the first serial killer I ever heard of was of Ted Bundy. And I live in Tallahassee. And of course, he terrorized Tallahassee. And we have a new jail because of Ted Bundy. Like there was a lot that changed because of Ted Bundy. None of the buildings other than the sorority house, exist that Ted Bundy had any affiliation with, except for the sorority house. And they made that bedroom where those girls were murdered. They made it, I believe it's the library. But it's just so charming. These people are just so charming. Even Wendy, to Jeffrey Lacoste, is so charming. I don't know how he thinks she is, but I ain't a dude. Oh, you love Village Pizza? It's my favorite pizza place. Hands down. Carolyn says she wasted 15 years on a guy who was living a double life. No one could tell me anything bad about him. Had to come to my own realization. Yeah, it's like those people who have 2 wives. Who has time for that? God. Donna's had a lot of work done. I'm surprised Wendy hasn't had her nose done yet. You know, when you read it, it doesn't sound like funny. Like if you just read this silent to yourself. But when you read it out loud, it's very funny. Like, Wendy looks like Charlie Jacobs. I think so too. I think this is Charlie Jacobs. I think this is Donna's mother. Some people thought this was Donna's mother. Clearly, these people, none of them are. Donna would have only been 2, so there's no relationship here. Is that the Overlook Hotel New Year photo? I have no idea, Patricia. I would have no idea. Someone just sent it to me. It doesn't give a location. And they posted it back in 11. Remember when Rashi said to the jury, what would Rashbaum do? Not a good question. Charlie was named after Daddy, Donna. Yep. I wonder who Robert was named after. No, not that I know of. She disowned Donna's mother disowned Donna's brother, Elliot. Are you having a meal at the meet and greet tonight? I have no idea what the plan is for tonight. I'm going. Hopefully I'll meet you, Tarpon Dog. But I'm going and I have no expectation. Like, I'm just going to go have a drink. Probably Diet Coke. Just kidding. I like to drink club soda when I'm out. Club soda with lime because I have to drive. I don't know that that's all true. Like, this whole thing about Wendy's relationship, they shared some guys, poor man. I mean, they shared a man's face. Of course, I went and researched the man. He's been married. He's got like 14-year-old kids. It was never him. So people sharing like other people without even knowing who they really are, I felt so bad for the guy. That lady looks older than Donna in that picture. Well, should we talk about that? Because if you look at anybody in any of these shows, like Archie Bunker was only in his early 40s when that show aired. Carol O'Connor, like all of that's like that. The Zac Efron Bundy movie was really good. Says Lindsay Shea. Amy Justice says, ears and nose are the only features that continue to grow your whole life. The rest of your face loses volume. When I used to visit my mom in a nursing care, all the residents had huge noses. Yes, exactly. Bundy targeted similar looking girls. So I went on a hunt. Like, I was like, where is she? Is she alive? What does she do? Like, all of this stuff. Found her. And we're talking about that. Her name really wasn't Stephanie, but that's what her name was in the books. The Ted Bundy, the first girlfriend that he was really ticked when she didn't accept him for the murderous, soulless serial killer that he was, and then rejected him. He went to school. He comes back, woos her again. She wants to marry him, and he rejects her on the spot. Some people do have large ears. Yes. Oh, the Dolphins cheer squad. She tried out. Thank you, Wesley. Thank you. I know she was Miss Broward County. She has an Instagram, but she's posting real estate stuff unless she turned it off again. It's off. It's private to me unless you guys got in there beforehand. How stupid are Charlie and Donna for hiring Hash Mom? That's what Scott, my business partner, keeps saying. He's like, how on earth did that even happen? Unless no one would take the case. And he was a deal. I mean, they probably wanted $2 million for this case. And I thought 20 grand for Elin Barrett was a good deal. And they're like, screwed him. June tried out for cheerleader, didn't make it. Lip volume also decreases with age. I can say that's true. Plus color fades, nose and ears keep growing. God. Thank you, Amy, for that. Hi, everyone. Hi, Lisa. Gentry says, remember Jeff Lacoste said Wendy had, I know, I don't get it. I don't even want to say it out loud, so I'm going to just let you read it. He acted like she had some kind of witchy power. Took him a while to get over her spell. I just don't see it, but I don't like girls, so I don't understand it. Charlie on one of the wiretaps talks about June to Donna trying out for the Dolphins and said June is a good dancer. Donna spent lots of time in her backyard pool and tennis courts. Her skin looked photo aged by her years. Yeah, her skin is horrid. If June does not get past this, she will end up with someone just as bad as Charlie. True. Tallahassee is anything but boring. I know. Ann Rule, thank you very much. Ann Rule was the writer's name who wrote about Ted Bundy. She worked with him at a 911 call dispatch place and called the female that Ted Bundy had dated, Stephanie. But that's not a real name. Bossy Texas chick says she's going to rewatch Charlie's trial. I'm going to rewatch the first trial. I think that one's the most fascinating because Chris DeCoste just tears up Wendy. Wendy's had her nose done. I should have seen it before. I know he's getting really disgusting, tennis girls, so you're fine with putting him in timeout. That's fine. I'm convinced the family photo is misdated and the little girl on the right is Donna. With her mother and father behind her. I absolutely see Donna's face in that shot. It could easily be. I mean, that kid has some ears. So it could be 1954. And if that's the case, and then that's Elliot, who's 4 years older. So yeah, it could be. Thank you, Fluff Bun. God, because look at that poor kid. Look at the ears on him. Could be. Even your jury duty was canceled on Monday. What is going on? I don't know. People are settling. The Overlook. Oh, thank you. The Overlook is from The Shining. Thank you. I can't get through that movie. I've never been able to watch it the whole way through. The lady on the right looks like Donna. That's what I think. It couldn't have been. Well, I guess they do wear sleeveless in New York at New Year's. Bossy Texas said she rewatched the first trial last week, and man, Georgia was so much more of a pit bull. I kind of think the one who looks like Wendy is, because the other woman would have been too old then. I just think the way this one holds her face. Hopefully she's got her ducks in a row, you know. She's another one. I wonder where Bree is. We don't hear anything about her anymore. I hope she moved on and finds a good guy. I do too. And I hope he's paying child support. Jay says, as soon as I found out Rashbaum was a gambler, it kind of makes sense. Rash was gambling with straddling 2 clients and on the edge of overstepping his ethical boundaries. Thank you. I said go ahead. He was getting raunchy. Can't keep that up. Maybe Robert is named after Harvey's side of the family. I have that, but I haven't seen a Robert. Remember, narcissists will mirror people to be liked and seem normal, fit in. So partners will obviously think they're the perfect one and the perfect match, but it's an illusion. They just need therapy. The partner, not the... You can't therapy someone out of being a narcissist, I don't believe. I guess it's common for the family to disown each other, right? So when he dies, I believe this is Charlie Jacobs. He dies in 1975. Elliot's not even mentioned in there. Not even mentioned. Now, Fancy says she knows why, but she hasn't disclosed it. I don't know why. So I can't disclose it either. I have no idea why. Good to know, Shiraz. I can do that. She's talking about filtering words out in comments. I can do that. I do that in Facebook. Charlie's kid is doomed no matter what. I know. I don't have Netflix. Bling is the New Black is asking me if I watched the Netflix show I recommended for your flight back. I don't have Netflix. And I have to tell you, I talked to a stranger for the entire flight in person. So she was very nice. For 2 hours, I spoke to a stranger on a plane. That's growth right there. Was Elliot older than Donna? Yes, 5 years. It would be, in my opinion, it would be this one, if that's Donna's brother. Because he was 5 years older. Lots of food. Katie Kool-Aid is putting on a spread. Yeah, I got to go. You know, I don't like being late. The one with the child. I believe, I don't know what you all believe, but I believe this is Lorraine. I believe this is Charlie. Now people have me thinking this is Donna and that could be Elliot. We don't know who that is, but he's definitely not related that way. Every time you hear the name Bundy, you think Al Bundy. I know, it's funny. Offerman has signed on to Wade Wilson's appeal. Well, he takes credit cards. Thank you very much, tennis girl. I mean, but when someone gets raunchy, you can't allow that. It's Facebook's going to take it down. Not Facebook. They'll take it down for sure, but YouTube will take it down. People are just trying to piss me off. So Ted Bundy had a child in prison. Yes. And the mother, it was a girl. And the mother of that child has since passed away. Thank you, Shiraz, for that information about being a mod. I appreciate it. I can go on the Bundy sites and share story about them. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, the buildings are no longer there. The rooming house that he stayed in was called the Oaks. That's not there. The house. So he attacked the girls. I believe it's what's Chi Omega, right? So he attacks the girls at the sorority. Then he goes to another girl's house who happened to be a dancer, ruined her life. She could never dance again. Attacked her, but she got away. That building's not there. So a lot of it's not there. And they don't. City of Tallahassee is not interested in a Bundy tour. That is a fact. They just don't even talk about it here. Serial killers are opportunists. Bundy didn't target similar looking girls. That was the style at the time. All girls looked like that at the time. Sick and tired of everyone talking about Donna's face. Sincerely, Kojak. Sincerely, Joan Rivers. If you don't know who Kojak is, that's another great crime show. The old stuff is so good. Your granddaughter said you have big ears. Well, don't listen to her. Oh, so people were mean to her. I can imagine that. And it's not even their fault. It's not some. Well, thank you, Norma. I am going to go. I should do a live rewatch with all my members. You'll have to tell me what that means, Bling. Ann Rule's book about Ted Bundy was the first serial killer I know. And I am completely enamored with that murder. I don't know why. The young girl that he murdered, the last girl right before he was executed, the reason why he was executed, I went to her grave. Why would I do that? I have no idea. But it's in Live Oak, and I'm like, it's in Lake City, and I'm like, I'm going. And I did, and I found it out of nowhere. I was like, what are you doing, Patty? But I mean, it's just so sad to be there and know how real it was. So I'm going to go. I think that's it. I really do. I have to put on my face. You had a mad crush on Telly Savalas. He was hot. I'll be the judge, says, oh, thank you so much. You're very sweet. In the Fire on Netflix, a true crime. That's my sister and my daughter told me to watch that. But have a great evening. I will be taking pictures tonight, and I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it will be fun. And Susan from True Lifestyles is going to go live. Good. First of the first trials. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, we should. We could do that. Anyway, have a great evening. Happy Sunday. Go love your family. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.